Hey YouTube, this is just a short video on the fruits here on the property. Some of them came with the property, so I can't really say it was me that planted them, but some of them we did plant in the late spring. This is one of them, and I will put on the screen if I remember the variety. I don't remember right now, but it is an apple tree. And you can see here, this is deer, because this was like a perfect apple, or I don't know if it was deer or what was that. I have no idea, but something got to it. It's like scratched up and everything. It was absolutely perfect. But it's interesting to see how huge these apples are. Like, there's my hand. These were huge apples. I'm gonna take them off right now. That's why I wanted to just make a little video. But this is, I think it's a year 4 apple tree. And so put it in the ground in the late spring. Likely we'll have to put some sort of fencing around it to keep it protected at the bottom from rabbits and the top from deer. But it's coming along pretty nicely. It's growing pretty tall. I plan on pruning this one often so that it doesn't get away from me and it doesn't get too tall. I'm going to treat it sort of like a semi-dwarf fruit tree rather than this fruit tree that came with the property, because it's really hard to get up really high into the tree to get the fruit. So I think if you can prune an apple tree to not get too tall, I think that would be the best idea. This one obviously got away on whoever owned it before. And I just want to show you some cool trick. This tree, you can see the bark. It's a little bit tired looking. It had a lot of this all over it when we got it. Last year in the fall was the first time that we harvested apples from this, and most of the apples in this tree at the time were full of, I want to say mold. It was like black. A lot of them were no good on the inside, and on the outside you could tell. And so this year, I saw a trick years ago, like you can see here on the tree, there's a little bit of the, I guess it's either fungus or I guess it's mildew. I don't know. I'm not sure what the wording is, but you can see a little bit, but it's like 10 times better. And what I did, you can actually see the ring of dead grass around here. What I did is I did a hack that I had seen on YouTube, like, honestly, it was probably 7 years ago. I don't even know, when I first started watching YouTube. And it was Himalayan salt. And it's the only video I've ever seen about it. And I can't even find it now. But it came to my mind, and I had some true Himalayan salt. I had a box of it I bought from Costco a couple of years ago. Public service announcement. The Costco Himalayan, the Kirkland brand Himalayan salt now no longer says Himalayan salt. It just says pink salt. And that is because it's very likely not Himalayan salt anymore, just so you know. But because I had some stuff in storage a couple of years ago, I had taken that Himalayan salt and emptied the whole, I emptied about half of the container all around this tree. And that was early spring. And I think it made a huge difference, because Himalayan salt, for those that don't know, has over 80, maybe almost 90 minerals, essential minerals to our human body, but also essential minerals for a tree. And because this tree was sick, it was mineral deficient. So I don't have pictures, unfortunately. I didn't remember to take pictures of it before, but I could tell you that this tree looks way better now at the end of the summer than it did at the beginning of the spring. And the trees are, and the apples are the proof of it, because they are nearly all very, very healthy looking. And most of them, when you cut into them, are perfectly fine for eating. So these are like almost perfect. When you talk about trees that are not sprayed with pesticides, you can almost always expect them to be like this tree, like that apple right there. But for this tree this year, hardly any of the apples look like this. And for comparison, This is called an Asian cranberry tree. And so I can actually harvest these. I will later on in the fall harvest these cranberries. You can cook them up and you can mostly use them for muffins and cakes and stuff like that. I guess you can also use it for jams and jellies. But what I didn't know last year, the children knew, but I didn't know, that this tree, this Asian cranberry tree, also had alongside it, I don't know if you can see, it has an apple tree. I don't know if they fused them together on purpose, but this is an apple tree growing like right beside the cranberry tree. So you can see that this one is very sick. It's much like the other apple tree when we first got it and saw it. So you can see it's pretty sick. You can also see that most of these apples here have a type of mold on it or fungus or something on it. Anyways, most of them. They have all grown pretty big, but nearly all of them have this kind of mold or mildew on it. And inside of them, some of them are perfectly fine inside, but on the outside they look like that. And when I take them to wash, this stuff can come off. It's like it's washable. If I really scrub at it, this will come off. Most of it. But it's definitely a symptom of the tree being sick. So the Himalayan salt that I bought at Costco recently is that type of pink salt, which pink salt is well and good, but it does not have 80 trace minerals. So it's not a good treatment, I would say, for a tree that's sick. So what I will do is buy some true Himalayan salt and do the same treatment that I did with the other tree. But for now, these are apples and I can peel them. I can wash and peel these and use them for applesauce. So it's not a huge deal, but I just wanted to show you that hack if anybody ever ends up with an apple tree or has an apple tree that starts to look sick. You can take Himalayan salt. I would say it's about 1 pound, and treat it twice in the year, like at the beginning, early spring, and then a second time in the fall, which is what I did. It's not quite fall yet. The 1st of September, I treated this a second time, just so that it will help it along for the winter months, absorbing those minerals. So the tree is a lot less sick now than it was before. And I just wanted to show you that. But yeah, these are apples I plan on preserving. Well, of course, we're going to eat some of these and preserve some of them. So that's that tree. And then the second tree, the second fruit tree that we bought this spring was this one here. And this is a pear tree. Now, there was a pear on here, but it is no more. I don't know what happened to it. I think that the deer have been coming around this tree. So again, it's another one that we'll have to fence somehow. I don't like fencing stuff. It just looks ugly, but this is pretty much what we're going to have to do for this pear tree as well. And again, I'll try to keep trimming this. It's about 8 or so feet right now, but I will plan to keep it trimmed to 8 to 10 feet. So that it's easier for harvesting the fruit as it grows. This is another year 4 pear, and I can't remember the name. Oh, my daughter says it fell off, so it didn't get eaten by anything. So that's one pear, and I can't remember the name. Do you remember the name?
No.
Again, if I find the name of this pear tree, I will put it on the screen. These fruit trees, I bought both of them through Walmart, which isn't my first choice, but when you're trying to save money, I think it's just, sometimes Walmart wins. I went to a fruit and vegetable store about an hour away from here, and their prices were nearly doubled. Those fruit trees that I bought at Walmart were $70, and at the fruit and vegetable store that was selling them, I can't remember, I think it was $120 for the same size fruit tree. So, I thought about it because I'd like to support local businesses, but, if it's going to be a $50 spread, I'm not gonna, I need to save money first and foremost. So that's what I did. I went with the Walmart ones, and I don't really regret it because I saved a bunch. So these are plums, and they're called American plum. These can grow wild in North America, in forests and stuff. And so I'm gonna give it a try. There's two of them here for pollination. I did plant them pretty far apart from each other. So in the future, if I wanted to add another variety of plum, I could just put them here, and they will help to pollinate each other. Certain varieties. I don't remember the type that. There's a few types that go well with the American plum. But even as a standalone, I plan on growing these. So that's what they look like now. They're about I think these are year 2. So now this is like, I would say, a third year of growth. And it's not a lot of growth because, again, the deer have been at it. So I do have to create some kind of protection for these. The deer can't, stunt their growth or prune them off before I'm ready. Okay, and the last I bought was blueberries. These varieties are 2 different varieties, this one here and this one right here. They will pollinate each other, and to be honest, I don't remember the names of these 2. I did buy them at Costco before moving to New Brunswick. I bought them in Ottawa at Costco, and they were selling them in containers that were side by side, 2 for $20. And so they were already purposely giving you varieties that were pollinators with each other. The leaves were green when I first started out. They are now red. So I think that is an indicator of some sort of deficiency in nutrients. But I have yet to kind of focus in on this. I was really more focused with the garden this year, the vegetable garden. So I will have to spend a little more time figuring this out. But they did stay alive. They did grow a little bit. This one was found about a foot away from where it was planted on the grass. So again, it's going to have to be protected from deer and whatever other animals like to play around with it. But it survived the summer, and so that is year 3 growth, and we'll see what happens with it next year. But I will protect it for the winter as well. So that is my little fruit tour. Don't have a lot to show for it other than the fruits that came with the property. Of course, the apple tree is the big feature, and it's producing quite a few fruits there. There's quite a few apples there. So, and I've given away some, and I'll give away more, but I will probably preserve most of these in the form of applesauce. And another one that I've just seen is what they call a compote, which is almost in between applesauce and apple pie filling. So I figure I could make a bunch of that, and then I can use it for multiple purposes. So stay tuned for that video. If you're interested, I will make a video on how to make this apple compote and can it for future use. God bless you, and thank you for watching. That's the cranberry tree. That's the cranberry tree right there. And there's the garden. Bye for now. God bless.